He's got a viral YouTube video with over 14 million views. His channel has over 100,000 subscribers, and he has an adventuring lifestyle I am deeply envious of. He is an international motorcycle adventurer, and today's video is a Skype or a recording of a Skype interview with Alex Chacon. Today's video is a little different than my usual format, and it is in a direction that I would like to head a little more often, and that is interviewing people that have successfully used video as their medium. I'll be asking them video specific questions and hoping to get a bit of advice for us all on what and what not to do. Alex spent 3 years shooting and recording his motorcycle adventures around the world, and he produced a video that went viral called the 3-year epic selfie. At the time of recording this, it had over 14 million views, and I will put a link in here and in the description below to that particular video. Alex also has a website called the Modern Motorcycle Diaries, and he seems to spend a fair chunk of his time filming and uploading adventures in exotic locations on his motorbike. This video is a recording of my Skype interview with Alex, who kindly gave me the time to do this. And if you prefer, you can download just the audio if you'd rather just listen to it from my website, and I'll put a link below. So without further ado, here is the interview. Alex, thank you very much, and thank you very much for agreeing and coming on my channel, and let's get into some questions. First of all, I guess the first question I'd like to throw to you is, how would you describe yourself and what your YouTube channel is about to people that perhaps don't know you or haven't seen any of your videos?
Sure, Grant. First of all, thanks for inviting me on your channel, and I hope everybody's had a chance to see a little bit of my videos and a few things that I do. My channel is more about adventure and motorcycles and backpacking, drones to selfies to almost basically everything that my millennial generation encompasses. You know, we try to document a story or an experience in a very unique way to be able to share with our friends or family. And sometimes these ideas go viral, which is, basically my goal on my channel is to have really fun, entertaining content to educate, to inform. But, there's always that little piece of me that says, what if I can get 1 million views on this?
Yeah, fantastic. I read when I went to your website there, and I read about you, which I would have put in the intro to this video, and it says you're a social media influence, you're a YouTube talent, a video producer, professional photographer. But the one Alex that I liked the best, I thought was a good description, was international motorcycle adventurer. Would you say that's a good description of you?
It's a part of who I am. I think everything you just mentioned are small details into the bigger project. The bigger project is being able to storytell and show people the world in very unique ways. From a background, I started off with photography, blogging, writing, then it became videography, then it became editing, now it's become concept development, video production, and beyond. So motorcycle adventure rider is my passion. It's how I get to a lot of places because it's very cost effective and it's a very unique way of traveling that people seem to recognize the struggles, and I find myself getting more human-to-human experiences and things that are really fun to share by traveling the world on the motorcycle.
Fantastic. Next question. Your most popular video, the 3-year, and correct me if I'm wrong here, the most popular video I see on your channel was your 3-year epic selfie, which I think you released in 2014, and it's had over 14 million views now. How long did that take to shoot, and did the success of that video surprise you?
So that video took, pretty much 3 years to film. It took about 8 months to edit, and it took about 3 months to find the song. The reason it took so long is because I had so much footage from so many countries I visited, and because I didn't know how to do any editing or any footage before then. So I was learning on YouTube how to edit and how to put things together, so it was a long process.
Did you ever think that video was going to be as successful as it was?
It says it has 14 million views on YouTube. The reality is that it has over 200 million views worldwide, from other people who've uploaded it to when it's appeared on the national news, international news. But I had a little sense of me that it would get at least 10,000 views, and I would be happy with that. But when it got over, 7 million views within the first month or two, it was a life-changing experience. And ultimately, at the very beginning, it was all about being able to share my 3 years around the world with my family and friends. And then it became a 2-3 minute video that has inspired people since and has put me in the national spotlight as well as international spotlight, and even created a career for me, which is why I'm in front of you today.
I guess some people would look at that, and you see it occasionally on YouTube though. Would you say that one video that went viral, did that kickstart you and your channel in a way, or would it have just been carried on the way it was anyway, or what you've been doing?
It's dangerous to say, because sometimes one video does make your career, but in this case for me, it didn't make my career. It was a build-up and transition, but the video, what it meant for me was it showed me an opportunity. It showed me the fact that there were doors open to what I was doing, when before I had no opportunity or motivation, determination to realize that there was opportunity on this other side of the internet world and on YouTube. So the video, to me, kickstarting is a strong word, but I want to say the video showed me the ability and the opportunity that I didn't know existed before.
Fantastic. Next question. I perceive you as a motorcycle adventurer filming your experiences. Would you say, I guess, do you perceive yourself as a motorcycle adventurer? I know we've kind of covered this, but would you say you're a traveler first and you're just using the motorcycle, or are you a motorcycle adventurer?
So first and foremost, I am an explorer and a traveler. I'm not a tourist. I think a tourist is somebody who takes things home with them after a trip, and a traveler, an adventurer, is somebody who takes back experiences and gives back to people. So I'm first and foremost that. The motorcycle to me is just a tool. It's like a camera. It's like another vehicle. It's my choice because obviously I've ridden bikes, since I was 15 years old. So it's something really fun, and it provides me a different type of experience. But I've traveled in planes, to trains, to backpacking, to motorcycles, to 4x4s. Anything I can get my hands on is just going to be the vehicle for my bigger adventure.
Fantastic. Now, that's a good segue into, obviously I've got you on here to talk more about filming and cameras and editing and stuff. So when did you really first start taking an interest in shooting and editing?
So back when I was 17 years old, I did a motorcycle trip in the States, from Texas to California to Canada, back down to Florida to Maine, Nova Scotia, and back to Texas in 30 days. I traveled over 15,000 miles in 30 days when I was 17 years old, because I realized that I love adventure, and I just really got hooked on just driving distances and conquering and seeing things and capturing the moment. So during that trip, I realized that, I developed my photography skills, and I said, this is a really fun way of being able to capture an experience and share it with people back home, or people who may never be able to do this ever in their life. So it all started with that, and it just progressed into video, into then learning how to edit on YouTube and everything else, because I didn't ever take any formal classes to learn any of these skills. It was all learned online.
Fantastic. First camera, first bit of editing software?
The first camera I ever had was a dinky little GoPro HD2. It could barely shoot 1080p, and this is a camera that I used to actually film my epic 360 selfie video, which got 14 million views, as we mentioned earlier. So I like to tell people it's not about the camera, it's more about the idea.
Yeah, fantastic. Best shooting experience or worst shooting experience?
Probably the best shooting experience is anytime I can capture a really emotional moment, or that scene that people say, you know what, I saw your 10-minute video and there's this one scene that really got me. And I think those are the special moments that are hard to film and hard to get, but it kind of makes the hard work worth it when people can say, I remember exactly this from your video. What was your other question, Grant? I'm sorry.
Your worst. You had any? I guess a good question. In fact, I'm sure most people have. Have you had any filming disasters?
Let me first give you my worst experience. Was probably I was in Argentina on my 500-day Alaska to Argentina motorcycle trip, and I was filming, doing everything I could possibly do. I got these amazing scenes, and for some reason on the GoPro, it went wonky. I dropped it, and I erased all the footage for the last 3 days. And It was a really heartbreaking moment to have all that footage and hard work wiped out.
Wow.
So that last question you asked, What was the last question specifically? How you said it?
You've kind of answered it, really. It was the best shooting experience in I guess your worst filming disaster.
Yeah, it's kind of put together. So.
Yeah, and I guess most people would say the similar thing, actually, and I've got a few I could mention, but I won't just at this stage. Traveling around on a motorbike, I try and get a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of shooting now. I'm sure most people, a lot of people watching this would be interested in. So obviously traveling on a motorbike, space and portability would obviously be at a premium. What's your sort of go-to gear that you currently use?
I'll first mention that driving a motorcycle limits you to a lot of space. So what happens is I have to sacrifice my luxuries and my comfort for camera gear. So like the must-to go-to things is obviously a video camera, which is going to be a GoPro is probably my go-to. Then I start busting out into the point-and-shoot cameras, maybe a Canon G7X to, I used to have a PowerShot, to then my cell phone, and then the next step up would probably be a Canon 80D or 70D, and then if I'm lucky, I'll be able to take the drone. There's no room for any of this, so I have to sacrifice whatever room I have to get the camera gear, because I realize that the most important thing for me out of any trip is the gear, so that I can film and document it for people and myself.
Yeah, I guess, okay, if I was then to push you a little bit harder on that one, like you're off on a trip and I said you can only take a Vespa scooter, you can only take one piece of camera kit, what would it be?
I would probably take a GoPro. It's small, it's portable. If you have an external mic that you can plug into it, the sound's really great, and it's so versatile, and it can take a gunshot or even a beating. So that would be my go-to, because it's small, portable, you can hide it. You can have it in your pocket at all times. It's cost-effective, and it shoots pretty good quality when you have good lighting.
Yeah, fantastic. And do you have a favorite, a GoPro? I've seen a lot of your videos. You've got your helmet camera, you've got your vertical mount, your side mounts, your chest harness, your handlebar mounts. Do you have a favorite mount or favorite POV mount for your GoPro?
Probably the thing I'm most proud of is that on my 3-year epic selfie video, I started filming that 3 years before it came out. So when it came out in 2014, I was filming it since 2011, 2010. And back then, monopods or selfie poles didn't exist. So if you see on my video, you'll see my first prototypes of this giant 10-pound pole where I had to put the GoPro on there. And, people sometimes call me the father of the selfie because something to attach the GoPro at the end of it didn't exist at that time. So people said I was one of the first people that were kind of really use that, which is a big honor. So my biggest thing that I like to have is a selfie pole, and it's usually the ones I make because those are the funnest to do, and they're very different looking than the ones that you buy. I've never actually bought a selfie pole. I've always made mine.
Yeah, perhaps you should have patented the idea.
It's one of those things that people always tell me, and they always kind of dig it in and rub it in. But the fact of the matter is that monopods had always existed, and monopod attachments have always existed. So it was only a matter of time for it to come out. Yeah,
fantastic. Rightio, moving on. You've kind of asked, my next question was helmet cams, favourite helmet cam, which obviously is the GoPro. This is a little bit of a nitty-gritty question. This is from a camera geek. I noticed on a couple of your videos I've seen on the GoPro on your helmet, do you run a filter on your GoPros?
I usually don't. I like to capture usually the most natural conditions of the area. So I usually, the only time I ever put a filter is sometimes on a drone.
Yeah, for sure. Rightio, and favourite video tool, you've answered that question. Best piece of, I guess, rolling on from that one, what would be your best piece of advice for someone who's perhaps embarking on, like yourself, on a motorbike and they wanted to shoot their adventure and upload to YouTube or share with their family? What would be your number one piece of advice?
I'll give you a few because it's just not one thing that's going to make it successful for people. I think very first of all is just storytelling. Find a central idea that you want to communicate to people in a very creative way, in a memorable way for them to remember. Once you have your central idea, your camera gear shouldn't matter because our cell phones are shooting 720p. A small $200 camera can get you what you need. So the camera gear is not a huge thing. So it's the idea, your camera, and the message and concept behind it. That, and try not to basically put your head cam on your helmet or on your selfie pole for 100% of the video. You want to switch the scenes, create a message, and do it a little differently than what you've usually seen so that you can add your own flavor and your own essence to a video, because otherwise you're going to have the same type of video everybody else has. So the more unique you make yourself as a person or a talent in the video, your message you're trying to convey and the different angles, I believe, will be the most successful for those people starting out.
Yeah, fantastic. I often say the same thing. I've had a few people sort of quiz me every now and then through my channel, sort of thing, and it's quite easy. And I do understand it. It's easy to get fixated with gear. You might see a brilliant video, so it's a funny reaction, isn't it? When you see something really good on YouTube, often people's first reaction is, "What'd you shoot that with?" Which is perhaps people, I guess, and I'm guilty of this as well, but people should perhaps be looking at why that was, I guess, an impressive shot, or what they liked about it, I guess,
But I think as camera enthusiasts ourselves, and as an artist ourselves, and as creative talent, what happens is that it's part of our geeky tendency to evolve with camera gear. If you're not evolving in the gear that you use, you get stuck and left behind. Same thing happens when you're filming your stuff. If you're not evolving as an artist, you get left behind. So yes, we kind of we want that exact same kind of quality that we saw in this video, what gear you're using. You don't always need that, but at the same time, as an artist, you're always evolving. So it's part of the process of evolving, but you don't really need to do it to be successful. Some of the most viewed videos on the internet are silly videos people shoot with their iPhones or their LGs or their Samsungs. So you don't need a fancy camera to have a viral video or success on the internet these days, because most of the stuff you watch anyway is on your cell phone, and you don't need 4K quality to watch stuff on your cell phone.
Yeah, good point. And I guess that also throws me to the next question is, I see you using a drone now, and a lot of your recent videos have been, like Iceland, for example, very drone orientated. So that's I guess, to paraphrase you, the next piece of technology or equipment. Is the drone your current next piece?
That's my newest toy, and if you go to my channel, just search my name, Alex Chacon, or search the Modern Motorcycle Diaries, or even search the Epic Selfie Guy, and you'll look at my channel. And right now I've been working on a beautiful piece that I hope will be more successful than my Epic 360 video. It's basically myself doing dronies, which is a selfie plus a drone, all over the world for the past year across 15 different countries. And I hope some of the scenes I've captured so far, from Australia to New Zealand to Italy to India, some of the views you see up there are so amazing, and it's so eye-catching and so encompassing of a story I want to tell, that if you keep subscribed to my channel and you check it out, you'll actually be able to see that video coming out hopefully in the next month or two. And if you think my 360 video was great, this will blow you out of the water. So that's the gear I'm using now, and that's the next step in my evolution for a content creator.
Fantastic. Looking forward to seeing that. My only last bit of advice, in fact, for people who are watching this video, I actually emailed Alex direct one day, because I have been watching, keeping up with his videos, and I saw him using his drone in Iceland, and I emailed him asking, where on earth do you put that drone on the motorbike?
Yeah, so it's like I said, there's no rooms, but you have to take it because the scenes are just majestic and epic. So basically, all I did was wrap it in a waterproof bag and just strap it down to the back of the bike, which is all you can really do for a drone, because if you want a good case for it, it becomes big, it becomes heavy. So, it's very uncomfortable. It's a pain in the butt, charging the batteries. Sometimes it's too cold to fly in the morning. It's a real hassle and a struggle. But if you see my Iceland video with just drones on my channel, you'll see that it's definitely worth the effort.
Fantastic. Yeah, sure is. And almost finished. What would be? Oh, you've done that one. That was the what would you say would be the best piece of advice? Last question. Where to next? Are you able to divulge that, or next adventure must be lining up, I'm sure?
What I'm doing now, Grant, from all my stuff is people want to know behind the scenes and what I do. So I'm starting daily vlogs, hopefully within the next few weeks, but I've been doing weekly vlogs. So if you want to know where I'm going, you want to see, real time what's happening, check out my channel. But for my next steps, you'll see me go to Reno, Nevada this weekend for a beautiful balloon festival and a race. The next weekend, you'll see me go to California for a adventure travelers meeting. The week after that, I'll be going to Germany for a video conference on how to market, brand yourself, and do marketing through video online for big companies and so forth. And after that, I got more epic trips to Asia coming up. I got a great trip across Asia, the Middle East and Asia, Russia for next year. So there's a lot of fun stuff coming up, and I hope you guys will join me for that.
Fantastic. Alex, thank you very much for appearing on the channel, and I'm sure that was interesting, and people watching this hopefully will got some or glean some an insight to you and your channel and how you do it.
Sure thing, Grant. Thanks for having me on, and best of luck with you on your channel as well. And I hope to see you soon someday, and we can do a nice little video and vlog together.
Fantastic. Thank you. So I hope you enjoyed that and got something out of it. Alex is a genuine good guy, so make sure you go and check out his YouTube channel and his website and other social media links, which I will put below in the description. One of the key points I took from that, from Alex is, and which we always have to remind ourselves of, is that the story or the idea behind the video should always come before the technicalities of your camera or editing equipment. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.